If you work in the electrical equipment or utility industries, or you're looking at buying or redeveloping a property that once handled transformers or electrical gear, you've probably heard the term PCB come up during environmental due diligence. And if you haven't, you probably will. So let's talk about what PCBs are, why they're still a problem, and what to look for if your facility has a history of transformer or electrical equipment use. Hey there, I'm Doug Rulin from RMA, your environmental experts. Here at RMA, we work with clients across the country to identify and manage PCB contamination at transformer and utility facilities. And before we go too far, just know, if you ever need a hand figuring out whether your site might have a PCB issue, you can always reach out to us. All right, let's dive in. So what are PCBs? PCBs, short for polychlorinated biphenyls, are a group of man-made chemicals that were used from the 1930s through the 1970s. They were basically the miracle fluid of the electrical industry. Stable, non-flammable, and great for cooling and insulation. Unfortunately, that stability turned out to be a double-edged sword. PCBs don't break down, they don't burn off, and once they get into the soil and water, they stick around for decades. That's why the EPA banned them in 1979 under the Toxic Substances Control Act. But by then, millions of pounds were already in circulation in the environment. Now, why are PCBs such a concern at transformer facilities? If your site ever built, repaired, or stored transformers or other electrical equipment, chances are PCBs were part of the picture. Here's what usually happened. PCB-based oil leaked or spilled during maintenance. A few drips here, a spill there, and over time, those small leaks added up. Soils beneath the pads absorbed the oil, it migrated through floor drains or into drainage ditches, and decades later, it's still there. Even facilities that stopped using PCBs long ago can have a lingering contamination beneath the surface. So who regulates PCBs, and actually what counts as contamination? Well, that's EPA under TSCA, specifically 40 CFR Part 761. The key number is this, 50 parts per million. Below that, it's generally considered non-PCB. Between 50 and 500 parts per million, it's considered PCB contaminated. And above 500 parts per million, well, that's PCB regulated waste. And cleanup rules get real strict real fast. Those numbers might sound tiny, parts per million, but because PCBs last so long and can slowly migrate, even low levels can cause issues, especially if they reach groundwater or nearby waterways. Another common misconception, that PCBs stay put. They don't. We've seen plenty of cases where decades of rain, runoff, and groundwater movement push them deeper into the soil or into drainage systems and wetlands. A site can look perfectly clean on the surface, while contamination quietly lingers below. That's why thorough testing and sampling are often so important where transformer and electrical equipment history is involved. So how do we actually identify PCB risk during environmental due diligence? Well, during a Phase 1 environmental site assessment, one of the first things we look for is any connection to electrical equipment. Transformers, capacitors, even old maintenance areas with oil stains. Those clues are often enough to flag a recognized environmental condition or wreck. From there, we may move on to Phase 2 environmental site assessment services, such as soil or groundwater testing, to confirm whether PCBs are present and at what concentrations. The goal is to know the risk before a deal closes, not after. Because here's the thing, PCB contamination is not obvious. It doesn't smell, it doesn't evaporate, and a quick surface cleanup may have only scratched the surface. That's why our team takes a focused approach, investigating areas where contamination is most likely, old transformer pads, drainage areas, or loading areas. If PCBs are found, we can walk you through the options, from small soil removals to working within EPA's self-implementing cleanup framework under TSCA. It's all about getting the right data early so you can make smart, informed decisions. Bottom line, even though PCBs were banned over 40 years ago, they're still one of the most common issues we find at transformer and electrical sites. They can move, persist, and create long-term liabilities if left unchecked. So if you're evaluating a property with a transformer history, make sure PCB risk is part of your environmental due diligence. At RMA, we've helped clients across the country identify, assess, and manage PCB contamination safely and efficiently, balancing compliance, cost, and practicality. If you're facing a possible PCB issue, reach out to us, because when it comes to PCBs, what you don't know can absolutely hurt you. But with the right partner, it doesn't have to.